Hello there, welcome back to a new video. Tonight you join me once more looking at Hcmc. So Hcmc in the past day or so is actually quite flat. Today we are seeing a drop from the price of 0.0015 range coming down all the way to this 0.0014 range. Now today we even hit lows down here and the 0.013 range, so we have actually moved quite a bit during that low period, but ultimately for the majority of the day we have been flat in this 0.0014 range, and again that is where we are finishing today, so fantastic. Now, if we do look at the moves of today in comparison to previous days, we can see that today has been very flat. This video intends to talk about why that is and what you should be doing with Hcmc right now. And again, when I say what you should be doing, it is only my personal opinion. It is absolutely not financial advice, and of course I am not right 100% of the time. If I was, I would of course be a billionaire by now by getting every single stock correct. This is only my opinion, and things can change as the time does go forwards. So let us jump into this one, but if you may enjoy, please do subscribe as we talk about stocks every single day. Now, before we do fully jump into this one, guys, I don't know if you can tell or not, I have actually bought an extra recording device. And I know that might sound strange, but basically it allows me to record one video and upload it whilst I am rendering another one. So it is a bit of a strange scenario, but of course, if the video does look different today, that might be why. I hope it does look okay, I hope it looks the same as usual, but I just thought I would tell you about that. But again, that is another reason to subscribe to the channel, because now we can make more videos per day, obviously faster, which is fantastic for both me and you. So yeah, let's go and jump into this one tonight. So Hcmc, of course, we have spoken about the lawsuit many a time before, and we are just going to quickly glimpse on it again. Now, obviously, as of so far, not really anything has happened. Of course, we are back on Pacer Monitor, the site that we have looked at many times in the past, and obviously they do update things on the lawsuit. The most recent update was back on the 10th of March, the reason being nothing has happened since then. That is okay, and of course, if nothing's going to happen in that time period, that is fine. The dates that we are waiting for now is the 22nd of March, which I do believe off the top of my head is at some point next week, and we also have the 16th of April. So these are two dates which people should be looking for. The most significant of the two is obviously the 16th, as we already know, because that is when we are getting the result for this motion to extend time. So hopefully by that time we can have some news about what is going on behind the scenes, because we already know that both Philip Morris and Hcmc have currently agreed to work on this one out of court for some time. Now, whether a settlement is going on or something, we just don't know. We've spoken about this before, but we just don't really have a clue as to what is going on. So again, all shall be revealed on the 16th, or at least around that point, because it says by the 16th, so I think that is important to note. But yeah, that is good, and we could be seeing something then. But again, Hcmc today is once again quite flat. Now this is good in my opinion. I think Hcmc being flat, or at least ever so slightly in the red, I think a lot of people do panic when they see this, but obviously every single day where people do sell this stock is a lot of fear getting out of the market. Now in some stocks I say this is not necessarily the best trend to see, but with Hcmc, guys, I'm just going to call it. I am happy when Hcmc goes down by a small amount. I think a lot of people who bought Hcmc, and I have spoken about this before, I think these people anticipated becoming millionaires overnight. And I'm just going to say it again now, we have spoken previously about what could happen to make the stock hit $1, but chances are, guys, this one isn't going to make you a millionaire. I mean, it's not impossible, and I'm not going to rule anything out. I do personally own 800,000 shares of Hcmc, and trust me, guys, I hope just like you, it goes to $1 per share. Guys, I hope it goes to $100 per share. And I could talk about this all day pretending that that is going to happen, but in my opinion, I'm just not too sure as to the fact that that is going to happen. But I think every single day that we see a small drop is a bit better, because once again it is people perhaps cutting losses and moving on to the next hype stock. I think that is really not the worst thing in the world. Again, I have said in the past that if you do own Hcmc and if you are at a loss, personally, in my opinion, once more, I wouldn't sell it at the moment. Personally, at the moment, I am down by about £500, perhaps a little bit more. I think this morning it was down about £570 from my obvious initial investment, and I am not too concerned about that one. I've spoken about it before. If you are going to buy Hcmc, in my opinion, is a stock which you just buy right now, or at any point where you're comfortable for that matter, and you just hold it for the next year or so. The money that you put into it, you already assume is lost, because then you won't be too disappointed with what happens. Obviously, it is a gamble. We knew this from the beginning, and that does need to be reiterated every single video, as people are just going to keep dropping the same comment saying, oh, this stock's dead, and all that kind of information. Obviously, like I have mentioned before, if the stock is anything, it is not alive right now, because yes, we have had the hype from the community, as we've spoken about previously, but from a legal standpoint, from that catalyst of the lawsuit, nothing significant has happened, and that is what people ultimately need to remember. But yeah guys, rant over. Getting back to the charts, we can see that basically things have been leveling out ever so slightly today, which is fantastic. Now a really interesting move which I have personally noticed today, looking on the charts, if it will let me focus, we can see that the volume today was pretty decent. So looking in this corner down here, you can see that volume was around the 3 billion mark, which is very interesting, 3.11 billion. I think that is quite good to see. But overall, volume has been low for the past few days. I think, for me at least, this one does indicate to a lot of people holding the share rather than selling it. So of course about 800k shares, 800 million shares, sold on this day, or at least traded on this day, down to about 100 million down here. They went up to a billion, and of course today we have picked ourselves up massively with a volume of about 3.11 billion. So again, that is quite interesting, but the fact that volume has been quite dead for the past few days shows to me that this stock is kind of still being held. I think this is good as well. So I don't think that the majority of people are selling. I think this period around here is when we saw a lot of people sell off. I think that is okay. Back here, a lot of people sold their position, perhaps at a loss, or even people taking profits from previously if they'd have bought this one in the 0.0001 range. Let's face it guys, if you'd have bought this one all the way down there and sold it at the highs up here, you would have made an absolute fortune, even off that very small price move. So it does make sense that people have sold off, but ever since this rather large sell-off, we have seen this motion be quite flat. Now if we do have a quick look on the candlesticks, if we can see that the candlestick today is actually pretty green. I mean, yes, it is still in the red, but we can see this motion down here is kind of almost coming back up, as we can see an ever so slight decrease in sell-off today, which is good. I think this could indicate to a small pullback potentially on Monday morning, but as I have spoken about previously, I don't think this one is going to rocket in the next few days or anything like that. I think next week, the 22nd, could see some big growth, but I don't think it will be anything insane. I think the most important date that we are waiting for is in April, and that is okay. I've spoken about the fact before, and I will just mention it quickly again. If you are looking to buy Hcmc, you should buy it, assume that the money is lost. I think in that instance, if it is going to rocket, which is not guaranteed, Hcmc's share price will pay out to the people who held it from the beginning. So ultimately, if you are hyped about this stock, if you think it's going to make you rich overnight, should you buy it? Absolutely not. If you are willing to take a gamble on this stock, perhaps it could be a decent buy. From a long-term growth standpoint, I am mixed about it. Obviously, I do own shares of this. I have said that before, and I will say it again. But ultimately, I just think this one is a bit of a gamble, but the company's business model is pretty decent. If they do work on, improving the company's business model more and more into the future, I think we can see the share price increase naturally, even if we do lose a lawsuit. But again, if we were to lose a lawsuit, we could see the potential of this share price dropping by half, bringing us down to the 0.0007 range. So that is something that we do need to be aware of. We do have that potential, and it is not guaranteed that we can win the lawsuit. So again guys, today we are in the red, and this video is not hating on Hcmc. Please do remember that. I talk about Hcmc, I give my honest opinions every single day. When it goes down, it goes down. When it goes up, it goes up. And I will report on what happens in that time frame. But today is one of the least bad days that we have seen in a while. Of course, we haven't really seen much green action with Hcmc for some time. And I would expect this one to hopefully start to level out in the next week, perhaps not moving much to the upside, but again, if we can preserve this price and remain relatively flat in this mid 0.001 range, I would be very happy, and if we can maintain that until April, that would be fantastic. So we will have to see what goes on. Of course, I'll be doing a bit more of a fundamental analysis tomorrow night, so do make sure to subscribe for that if you haven't already. But that one will be coming out again tomorrow. And of course, on Sunday is my predictions for the next week on Hcmc. It has been another wonderful week reporting on stocks with you guys, so thank you for everything. I'll see you again very, very soon. Goodbye until then.